welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber. Today I am bringing you a few decorations for fall and Thanksgiving, turning it around from Christmas. Just for this one video, I wanted to at least bring a few fall and Thanksgiving decorations before we go full on Christmas DIYs. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please don't forget to hit that subscription button and the like button to help my channel grow. I appreciate you all so very much. And let's go ahead and hop right into this video. Okay guys, so DIY number one is going to just be customizing this sign. And I got this sign from Dollar Tree. It's originally a Halloween themed sign. And I thought I showed you guys the front and what it originally looked like, but I guess I didn't. So what I'm doing is just pretty much redecorating the back of this sign. It still has its design in the front. I found these designs for Thanksgiving on the Cricut design space, printed them out, and now I'm just putting them on the back of this sign. And now you have a double-sided sign, one for Halloween and one for Thanksgiving. Here I am just applying the transfer tape to the letters. I'm reusing the transfer tapes that I don't go through a whole bunch just on this sign. It worked pretty well to reuse the transfer tape. And on the next design that I placed, I didn't measure it out very well, but I didn't want to recreate it and waste vinyl. So you'll see that I just used the next design vinyl as stickers and start placing it around the border of the pumpkin. Here, after I have all of that design placed, I do go back in with my craft knife and cut off all the edges that were just hanging off of the pumpkin. Since, like I said, I didn't measure this very well, so I'm going ahead and doing that. Here you see I had some blank spaces that I wasn't liking, and so I go in and just kind of create a border with what the middle of those leaves were. This wasn't my greatest design or sign. I love the middle of it, but I really did not do the best job on the border of it, but I still am using it for decoration. And I don't completely hate it, but I definitely feel like I could have done better than this. I still wanted to share it with you all just so that you know crafters make mistakes, and if you're ever trying to do your DIYs and something doesn't come out, it's okay, just embrace it. I'm going to go ahead and take off that black ribbon that it had to hang by and instead use some jute cord that I got from Dollar Tree. I just think it matched better with all the other Thanksgiving decorations, so that's what I chose to use. Here you're going to see it hanging on my wall, and like I said, I'm still going to use it as a decoration, even though it wasn't my best. That's okay. Let's go ahead and go on to the next DIY. Okay guys, super simple DIY, and it's a pumpkin tray candle. We need a pumpkin tray from the Dollar Tree, and a candle of your choice. I am using a candle from Bath & Body Works and a white candle from the Dollar Tree. You're going to melt your candles really slowly in a pot of water, and then whenever that Bath & Body Works candle melted, I took out the wicks and placed them in my tray. Then I waited for the white candle to completely melt, because that's what I want as my bottom. And then you take it out really carefully with a pot holder. And because I boiled this real slow, I didn't get any air bubbles. And then I'm going to just pour that in my tray. And after I pour that in my tray, I'm going to give it about 30 minutes for that one to set and dry in my pumpkin tray. And then I will come back in with my blue candle from Bath & Body, and I will pour that right over the white candle. The white candle has no scent, and I'm getting all my scent from that blue candle. The reason why I layered it like this was because I didn't have much of my blue candle left, but since I am going for the pop of blue in my decorations for fall, I thought this would be a great idea to do. And it's as simple as that. You can use different trays from Dollar Tree to do this. They always have some out for the different occasions. It looks super cute as a decoration. And Island Margarita is the candle that I got from Bath & Body Works. Here it is all dry, and enjoy this little magic trick of mine on lighting it up. Anyway, super cute candle. You can put little decorations around it. I have these little pumpkins that I painted a while back. They were just some orange Dollar Tree pumpkins, and I just painted over those. Alright, and let's get on to DIY number 3. Okay, so a Dollar Tree frame that I am redoing yet again using the Cricut. So this Dollar Tree sign is just a frame that says Born to Sparkle. Really cute as it is, but I liked how long this sign was, because I saw this design on Cricut that you'll see in just a minute, and I really thought it would be cute for Thanksgiving. So I'm just taking apart the sign, using the paper, turning it around, and placing it back on the cardboard. I tape it in place to help me secure it while I put on my new decal. And then I get my Cricut design and go ahead and lay it on there, see how I want it, and make sure that it fits well. And then I'm going to just take this apart and go ahead and apply this to the sign itself. Remember, you don't have to have a Cricut to redo any of the signs that you may want to redo. You can find free printables, and you can, if you're artsy, you can definitely draw one and frame it using a Dollar Tree sign. The possibilities are endless, but I have a Cricut, so I just go ahead and use it. See, isn't it just like the cutest little sign for Thanksgiving? Gobble gobble wobble, we know we all overeat on Thanksgiving. So anyways, now that I have the sign on there, I take it back off the cardboard, and you see that little metal piece that's there? That is what you use to hang your sign. So I'm taking it off, and this cardboard actually already had another slit in it so that you can apply it, and then you can hang it facing the right direction. So that was nice that they had another slit in there and I didn't have to like make one. So I just put that back on and I hot glue that metal piece down just so I know it's secure, and then use another piece of tape to put over it. So then I go ahead and reassemble the sign, and I ended up putting it all back together. And after I did that, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna put this on a white wall. So I actually don't want to leave the frame white. I want to make it look like wood. So I go in with my Waverly wax in Antique, and I go ahead and apply that all to the frame of the sign using a chippy brush. I do go back after a little bit and remove the glass and the picture and all that so that I'm able to easily paint that frame all in the inside and all the edges. I don't know if I made the mistake in doing this. I kind of like it, kind of don't. I almost wish I would have just went ahead and left it white. And this Waverly wax is easy to clean up. So I got it on the glass part of my sign, so I went ahead and cleaned that up just by wiping it off. It's really easy to remove from glass and your brushes. So I do use this Rust-Oleum protective top coat in matte clear to seal the frame, because like I said, it's easy to wipe off. And after that's dry, I just assemble the sign back up again. And I think it's super cute. And then I will hang it up in my kitchen for the Thanksgiving holiday. Alright, and now let's get into DIY number 4. Okay, this DIY is yet again another super simple DIY. I got these 3 little mini signs that are already fall. They just didn't go in with my decoration, and they are from Dollar General for $1 each. You need a glue stick, some craft paper that you like, and some scissors. And this craft paper is from Hobby Lobby, and they have them for $1. So I take apart this wooden sign from Dollar General, and I try to clean up the edges a little bit and sand off any excess paper and get off any excess glue. Any paper that was sticking on the backing, like sticking up, I just ripped off, but I didn't worry too much about taking off all of it, since you wouldn't be able to see it through that paper that I'm going to apply. And then I do just try to, there's 3 different words on this craft paper. Grateful, thankful, and blessed. So to get these words on along with some of the pumpkins, especially for the thankful, I do have to kind of cut out how it measures with the square, and then cut out the thankful individually and line it up the best that I can to get that all put together, which it did come out pretty good. So after you get your designs cut out and laid out the way you want it to be laid out, you just apply your glue stick to the backing and then apply your craft paper. It is super easy, and I think it makes for a higher, it makes for the signs to look higher end than what they actually were. Here I am placing it back in, and I'm just going to cut off the excess paper that's hanging out with my crafting knife. And then I'm going to show you how I remove the label on the back of that by just using my heat gun, and as soon as it gets heated up enough, it's pretty easy to peel off. Now I just go back in and assemble the sign by placing some hot glue around the edges and applying the backing back to it. And I think this came out super cute. I go in and repeat the same process for the next two to get the grateful and blessed on there. Now the way the grateful and blessed are laid out on this paper, I didn't have to do what I did with the first one, with cutting it out two different ways and then figuring out how to get some pumpkins and the wording on. The grateful and blessed were close enough to the pumpkins to where it looked perfectly fine the way it was already laid out. So these next two were much easier to do. And again, if you do not have a Hobby Lobby that you can get to, please use other resources by printing out anything from Google Images. There's plenty of free printables that you can do to make over some signs that you may have and that you want to match with your decor this year a little more than what the store sells them for. Here's how they look in a grouping together. And like I said, I really like the way these come out and match my decor a little better. And now we're on to the next DIY. Alright, next is a fall wreath that has welcome on it. I'm fairly new to making wreaths, so bear with me on this. I'm taking a ring that comes in a pack. It's actually supposed to be a 3D wreath from Dollar Tree, but I just took one of the circles and then I cut it with some dog nail clippers at the top. And now I'm just stringing these wood beads through it. I got these wood beads from Amazon in a multi-size pack. This wreath form has like little pieces on the sides of each part of the, on each side of this form, and that's what's stopping the wood beads from going all the way down. If you wanted the beads to go all the way down, you could probably just cut off those little pieces, but I didn't care for the beads to go all the way down, so I left them there to stop it. And then I just used my hot glue gun and for gluing it back together, because it would glue the wooden beads together and stop it from falling apart. Now I'm taking this pick, and I got it from Walmart for 97 cents, so even cheaper than what you get it from Dollar Tree. But if Dollar Tree or Dollar General is all that you have available to you, then you could just pick up some picks that you like from there. And so I'm pretty much gonna lay these out and figure out how I want them displayed. Some of the berries were falling off of it, but it was okay. It didn't lose too many of them. I do go ahead and go in with a piece of jute twine from the Dollar Tree and tie that pick around my wreath form, just so that it would help me kind of figure out the placement that I wanted it before I glued it down with my glue gun. And then I go in with the second pick and do the same thing, and I cut off any excess from that pick with the dog nail trimmers again. I have a wire cutter tool, but I was just being lazy and didn't go get it. These nail cutters were right there, so I just was using those. After I get it positioned the way I want these two picks to be, I go in with another, well, I'm placing my welcome down to see how I want it placed, and then I go in with this other pick. It's maple leaves, again from Walmart for 97 cents, and it comes with quite a few leaves on this pick. I'm cutting off a few of them from the pick so I can use for the bottom of my wreath. And I left the stems on there a little bit long, but I do go back in and cut those to be even shorter so that I can glue them down the way I want to, just on the bottom of this wreath. This was a super simple minimalistic wreath. Of course, this is just for inspiration, and you feel free to make your wreath as detailed as you would like, or as not detailed as you would like. I really like how minimalist this looked, so that's the way I kept my wreath. Now to get that welcome to stay on my wreath, I take this not twine, but wire, I guess, fisherman's wire, and I tie that on to the end of the E around my wreath, and then to the E, or where the W loops, to the other side of my wreath. And you cannot even see that fisherman's wire. That's why I used it. It's pretty invisible, even when it's hanging on my wall. And that welcome metal sign I picked up from the Target dollar spot, and I believe it was $3. Alright guys, so like I said, this came out super cute. I love the way it came out and how minimalist it is. Here it is hanging on my wall. I love the beading look on it and the fall vibes. Now let's get into the next DIY. Alright, DIY number 6 is a Give Thanks banner. It's pretty simple to do. So I got these burlap leaves at Walmart, and I think they were about $2 for a 6-pack. So I bought 2 packs for $12, and I used my Cricut and created a stencil that just says Give Thanks. I'm taking off each letter, and then I am going to place them, each letter, on one of my leaves. And then I just go in with some white clear matte, not clear. I go in with some white matte paint and just go ahead and cover all of that leaf with it. And I don't like overly do it on the leaves. The burlap still shows on or through that white. And then whenever I peel off the letter, as you see with the G, I see the back of the burlap as well, and I really liked that look, so that's why I kept it that way. But again, you can do this many different ways. You can use the other part of the stencil instead of peeling off each individual letter. You can use like the actual stencil and color in your letters to be white or any color that you like. Or instead of using white to paint your burlap leaf, you can also choose a more fall color that is traditional, like orange, yellow, or red. And you can also, if you have your machine, your Cricut machine or any cutting machine, just take some permanent vinyl, create your decal, and place it on there and not even have to do anything with paint. The decision is totally yours. This is just how I did mine. This is just to inspire you to do something of your own. The possibilities are endless. Peeling up those letters and it giving me a clean line on my letters just gives me so much satisfaction every single time. Because I had 2 of the leaves left over, I'm going in with a pumpkin stencil. I'm using these 2 paints. One is going to be turquoise from Deco Art. The other is Atlantis from Apple Barrel. Mix those 2 up to get the perfect blue, and then just go ahead and paint that whole leaf and over that pumpkin stencil that color. I've already done both my leaves here, as you can see, and the pumpkins come out so cute. They look better in person than on camera. And then I'm going in with my Dollar Tree jute cord, and I'm just going to cut off a long piece of it so that I can attach my leaves to the jute cord and make myself a banner. The way I go about attaching these leaves is I first lay them out and then I flip them over, and as you can see, they have like a wire on it. I bend it back over the twine, and then I hot glue it in place, and that's how I got them to stay. Okay, so this is how my banner turns out. It's super cute, and this is how it looks in my hallway right now. It's a very long banner, perfect for my hallway. And like I said, that blue pumpkin, it just pops out better in person, not as much in camera. But here it is, and here it is against a white wall, just to give you kind of a different reference on it. And then we are going to go ahead and get into our last DIY. Okay, so DIY number 7, the final DIY, and this is just another wreath using the bamboo wreath form from Dollar Tree. And this is just going to say harvest across it, and I'm using this scrap piece of wood that I had laying around, and I'm going to go ahead and sand those edges and get them all nice and smooth for us to go in and paint. Now that I've got that all smooth and sanded out, I'm using my Ladybug vacuum cleaner from Amazon to clean up my mess. I really love it. And then I'm going in with my Waverly wax and antique to give this board a type of stained look without using stain. I love this wax. It's really nice and really quick to use and easy to clean up. So I'm going to paint that and let it dry and move on to my wreath form. And the picks that you are going to see me using on this form are from Dollar General, and I kind of tore them apart, cut them apart already, and so that I can better place them the way that I want them placed instead of how they were. They were kind of messy, and I'm using about 2 of their picks, and just like I said, I'm able to customize it better that I've taken the picks apart. The Dollar General picks I think were $1.90 or something like that, so about $2. And really good picks for the fall. Of course, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Walmart, they all have fall picks, so just choose what you like. And to get these picks in, I am just pushing them through the bamboo, and they have like jute twine wrapped all around this wreath form. So I kind of just push it through there as well. And the leaves that I'm adding are from a garland that I've had that I believe I bought at either Dollar General or Dollar Tree. And I'm just cutting off pieces of those leaves and placing them behind my picks just to get a more layered look. And then I go into the other side and do the same things. I am also using some hot glue, as you can see, to make my picks stay the way I want them as well. See, I'm able to totally customize it that I took those picks apart. That corn husk, I think is what it's called, was just a little bit too long, longer than the other side, so I just cut it apart, rough it up a little bit to make it look similar to the other side. Okay, now that I have that all laid out, I'm going to go in with this orange buffalo check ribbon that I got for $2 at Dollar General. And I measure it out to about 15 inches. And this is going to be the first length. And then I go in to get another piece of ribbon, and I make that one just about 2 inches smaller than my first ribbon. And after that, I go in and kind of roughly measure the tail. I kind of see how long I want it to be, fold it over so it can be doubled, and then cut that out. Now I'm just going to apply some glue and make like a circle form with this ribbon. And this is wired ribbon from Dollar General, so it's easy to make it form that circle because of that wire. I do it with both pieces, and then of course my smaller piece is going to lay on top of my bigger piece, and then I'm going to cinch those in the middle with some jute twine to hold it together, and that makes a cute double little bow. And then I just fluff it out to my liking, and then I go ahead and tie in the what will be the tail of my bow, and then just adjust that as I need it so that it's facing the bottom. And then I am going to take another piece of this same ribbon, well, after I cut the tails off, I take another little scrap piece of the ribbon and I glue the sides of it to make it like a smaller, thinner piece, and then wrap that around the middle, covering the jute twine so that the ribbon's all matching. If you didn't want to do that, the jute looks fine and you can leave it that way if you like, but I wanted it to just be like all the same, so that's why I went in and did this. Now that I have that bow made, I just go back in and place it on my wreath, and I use some hot glue to attach it to the wreath. And then I just fluff out my bow to make it all pretty. And then I add a few more leaves to cover the bare spots on my wreath. And now that my board is dry, I take this metal sign that I got in a 3-pack from Dollar Tree. And the one that I choose says Harvest on it. And I'm going to apply that to my wooden board that we painted, and I'm going to use a super glue gel from the Dollar Tree. They sell these at the Dollar Tree for about a 3-pack, and that stayed on pretty nicely using that gel. And then I'm just going to turn around my wreath, and I pretty much just push the board into it. I don't use glue or anything to secure it. I think because the board was a little bit long, it stretched out the wreath a little bit and it stayed secured pretty well. Now I'm just adjusting the leaves as I need so that I can see the harvest wording. And this is pretty much how I leave it and how it comes out. I thought it was super cute and really nice for the Thanksgiving holiday. Here it is against my white wall. And that is all for my fall Thanksgiving DIYs. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my page and follow my Instagram. Bye!